G'day guys, thanks for joining me. Okay, straight off the bat, I'm going to let you know, I don't love this layout. I'm not a fan of how it turned out, but with me, you get the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, learn from my mistake. Maybe you know how I could fix it. Let me know. I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not a fan of going back and re-scrapbooking something just because it's not quite right or something's not quite, yeah. Anyway, so stick with me. It's a quick video today. I don't drag it on for you because, yeah, it was a quick power scrap. And I think that's where I went wrong. I was doing a quick power scrap and I pulled out, if you can see that sheet of cardstock next to me on the left hand side, that's actually the sheet I wanted to use. That's what I had in my head, right? But when I opened up my Paper Rose Studio Happy Stitches collection, this piece of paper fell out, which is what I actually used the other half of the other day. And I thought, oh, no, I'm not going to cut into a fresh piece. I'm going to do a power scrap and I'm going to make sure I use this piece. It scraps. I'm going to use it. I'm going to do it. It was a whole piece, but I cut it up. This morning when I got up, first cab off the rank, let me tell you, we are getting our roads resurfaced in and around my house. And to say that 6:45 a.m. wake up call with 20 plus men standing, leaning on your fence, having a chin wag before they get cracking on the day, let me tell you, it didn't put me in a great frame of mind. And I think that's where this page went wrong. I was frustrated because all I could hear was the drone of these machines. Now, don't get me wrong, my father's been in earthworks my entire life, okay? He owns an earthwork business. I know what machines sound like. That is not the issue. I think it's just because yesterday it was from 7 a.m. till 6 o'clock at night. And then today it's the same. Don't panic. That was just me. That's not you. YouTube is not messing with your head. I think it was just the second day and it was just getting me beat. I was trying to stay focused, eye on the prize, all that sort of stuff. But guess what? I'm not a fan of this page. You know what? I might even pull it out tomorrow and go, what were you waffling about? It's not that bad. Let me know below if you think if you can hear that banging and clanging in the background, it's my kids in the kitchen. Okay, I have decided to teach my kids how to fend for themselves and they need to contribute to the household. Okay? All right, this may be a little bit controversial, but FYI, all I'm doing is making banners, by the way, and then I'm going to ink around them. And I am going to show you a little trick. Now my husband's just driven in the driveway. If you hear car doors, I apologise. Okay, so here's a trick. To get into that little groove in your banner, just don't crease it, just fold it. And tap your finger dobber or your foam dobber up in there and you get the ink right up into the corner. That goes for cut files. That goes for if you've done die cutting, give it a go. It works. And it doesn't have to be a really thick, heavy cardstock, but it works. It gets the ink right into the corner and you get a nice even coverage. Now, what was I talking about? I've been thinking all day that I'm actually getting sick, and I'm not sure if I'm getting sick or if it's from the fresh bitumen that's being laid out the front. I'm hoping that's what it is. But I think near my immediate house, I think it's done. I hope it's done. They better not be back at 6:45 in the morning. But if they are, I will suck it up for the good of better roads. Am I right? We've had so much rain for all my people overseas. Mate, we are quacking like ducks over here. We have had so much rain. It is insane. And we're about to hit another month of, I think it's El Nino or La Nina. It's one or the other. And we're in that weather pattern again where I've got to tell you, there was some humdinger storms this afternoon out west, and apparently they're coming to the east coast tomorrow. I hate storms. I absolutely hate them. Had a bad experience when I was a child, and I don't like them. But when I have my 3 children at home, of course, I have to look like the big brave one. I do occasionally yell and scream. I have been known to do it. Alright, so I've just waffled on because all I'm doing is putting ink around the edges of my little pieces. So I decided that I would do the block thing at the bottom and I'd do the banner thing at the top. You know what I've just realised? Maybe I needed some string or something. Maybe that would fix it. When I get to the end of this, if you stick with me, let me know what you think. Do you reckon I might be able to salvage, and I use quotation marks there, do you think I can salvage the look if I maybe lifted it up and maybe run some string through it? Or I could just, or some twine, you know, like, let me know. What do you think? You got to let me know at the very end. Okay, so I do not know what my laptop is doing right now. So here it would appear, I don't know if this is doing anything. For some weird reason, it's frozen. No, it's not. It is moving. There is my hand. Oh, I know what I was doing. Sorry, I thought I edited this little tiny snippet out. The only thing I ever edit out, if you're new to my channel, hi, I'm waffling. But what I normally do is I speed up my videos. I don't edit out chunks. The only thing I ever edit out is when, see how I've walked away? I'm looking for something, or I've turned around to grab something out of my scrap room. If I was on a live, I could tell you that's what I'm doing and you would be okay with the quiet bit. However, where you can't see my hands, but I wasn't live. So I wanted this to look distressed. I didn't want it to be just solid dark purple. It's actually wilted violet. Is it? Yes. No, it's not. Oh, gee whiz. Spot the edit bits I should fix up. But I'm not going to because I'm one take Karen. That's what it is. Dusty Concord is the purple that I just went around the edges with. I've used Broken China, Wild Honey, and Dusty Concord. So those colours match really, really well with the Happy Stitches collection by Paper Rose Studio. And I absolutely love it. Now, the grid stamp that I did, and I'm going to do a quick bit. That's what I'm going to do to fix it, because I remembered I was going on about the stamping and how much fun it was to do, and that's why I've got so many stamps on there. It's a way, I haven't actually seen, I don't know that I've even seen someone stamp like that. It was a bit weird, but it felt so good. It was like squishy. I'll do a quick bit and I'll chuck it in there and you guys can have a quick laugh at how much joy I got out of it. It was pretty funny. But yes, so here I am. Now I don't raise up all of these. I think I only raise up 1 or 2. And that is solely for the purpose of getting over the photo or getting under the photo. I don't put these all in a straight line on the bottom, and I don't put the top ones all in a straight line. I think it just looks a little bit better if it's organic. Ooh, look at me. I just used a word that my kids use. Ooh. Now I'll know if any of my kids watch this. They'll be like, Mum, you can't pull off organic. You can hear it now, right? You've got to love those kids in high school. A 23-year-old, she wouldn't care. Okay, got one in high school, one about to be in high school. Okay, so I just had to add that little tiny bit in there because I didn't line it up properly. And I had a gap. Okay, so see my banners. Okay, here I realised that I've glued the photos down. Don't worry, just chop the top off. Should be right. Should be right, mate. It's all good. Okay. So I just lifted that one up so you could see the little points and the banners. And this was so simple. This is, maybe that's why I'm looking at it going, it's not enough. It's a power scrap. It's meant to be just come up with a concept. The concept for me was banners. I had banners in my head for some reason. And so I had to do banners. The paper came out, that one fell out. So guess what? The decision is that's what I'm going to use. There's no rhyme or reason to a power scrap. Sometimes it's just because a page comes together really quickly, really simply, or I want to show you a quick technique. So I do a whole page. I think what throws me off is because everything seems quite linear, but where I did the stamping, I did them all over the place. Okay, so here is where I show you what I do with these stickers. So these are thickers and they are from the Adventure Collection and they're black. I don't want them black because my page is all colourful and bright. Yes, I have a black shirt on, so I probably could have pulled it off, but because I'd already done, I do a lot of black. So I wanted to do something different. So this is what I decided to do. Blues. Now the other day, creative, gee whiz. Craft Online had Poppy Craft enamel. Good Lord, embossing powder. Jeez, my words. So they had embossing powders on sale. So these little pots were like $3. So I thought, I'll get some different colours. Why not? Let's see what happens. Mate, this turned out so good. This is what I've been doing with, you know how you get stuck with, I'm sure I'm not the only one. You buy something and it's not the right colour. You love the word, like it might be wow baby or getaway trip. And it's in a colour that isn't going to suit the layout that you're on. Pull out your embossing powders. Emboss those suckers. It looks so good. It makes them look like they're enamel. And because they're thick and they're... these ones are actually really quite thick. And don't mind me. That little dot there, that's the tip off my... the tip of my eye off my trip. So I didn't want to lose that. So all I did was melty it. And I used two different blues. I used sky blue and royal blue. Now those little tiny pots, the amount of things that I emboss that are blue, they will last me forever. I used the Versamark Watermark ink, sticky ink pad. And I bought that ink pad when I was doing my wedding invitations in 2006. I've never re-inked it. I do have a re-inker here for it. I did buy one just very recently, but it's still just as sticky as the day I bought it, pretty much. I will be frank, I do store all my stuff in the way that the craft people have intended you to store it. Like, you know, if your pens need to be laid down, that's how I store them. If your ink pads need to be stored upside down, if that's what the manufacturer recommends, that's what I do. So this Versamark ink pad, I would never buy any other brand on that. It has literally, it is awesome. I used to have a pen. Does anyone have one of the pens? And you can actually write or do dots or whatever, and or dots or lines, or you can do words. It had like a brush tip on one end and a point on the other end. I must get another one of them. I'm sure they still make them. Mine dried up on me, that's why I moved it on. But see, I'm looking at this, and okay, so I still have to do, I was thinking about doing some white splatters, and I stopped myself. I did get to this point and I stopped and went, no, stop, because there's no bling on there anywhere, and this is what really threw me off. I'm like, oh, I need bling, and look at me here, I'm procrastinating. I'm not sure if I should put more on or stop. That's the problem. Okay, so down the left hand side I'm journaling, and under the photo on the right hand side I'll be journaling there. So those bits are left blank on purpose. And yeah, so basically what I did is I pulled out liquid pearls. I pulled out blackberry, raspberry, cinnamon and periwinkle, and I just added a few little dots. So it's like, essentially if I had tiny enamel dots, that's what I would have used. But these little tiny ones, they're so cute. Have a look on my, I've really zoomed in on the photo side of things to see, so you can see how tiny they actually are. To be honest with you, I don't buy enamel dots that are that small. I love them, but I don't buy them because my hands give me grief and I can't pick them up, and I can't, it drives me crackers. So I have embraced the liquid pearls. I love them. They stay thick. They don't flatten out. They stay 3D, and they stay, like, they don't squash in your album. So yeah, I absolutely love them. So this is, I'm just putting some of these on now, and I'm actually, at this point, I'm actually on the phone. My mother-in-law called me, so I was actually on the phone because I'd missed her phone call a couple of times. So my mother-in-law and father-in-law, they're both in their 80s, so I don't like missing their phone calls because that's just not good. So yeah, so these photos were taken when my daughter and I went to Mackay for my best friend's daughter's 21st. So these are photos. I'm trying to scrap the 21st photos that I took, but I'm putting them on different layouts just to show you how you can tie it all in together. So here's a close-up for you, and I've actually, now looking at it, I'm actually okay with it. I thought that I would really dislike it. The only thing I think I would do is maybe go around with a little bit of water and soften the edges of the stamping. But if you're new to my channel, I would love to have a thumbs up. Let me know where you come from. I absolutely love knowing that information. And like and subscribe. I post a video 6 times a week. Not a problem. Thanks very much, guys. Chat to you soon. Bye.